What's going on YouTube? D-Star back again with another tutorial. This time a little idea, a little bit more of a concept, something to inspire you guys a little bit more. Chopping drum loops and making drum loops your own, and kind of layering loops to make them kind of interesting and taking away from like the, I don't know, making them your own, I guess is really what I'm going to call it, I guess. So let's get started. I'm going to start by changing the BPM. Let's do like 124. And I'll create a loop here, and we'll throw it on a kick drum, and you can use any kick that you preference. And this is kind of like a lazy, this is like a lazy solution when you're not feeling like programming all your hi-hats and all your drums and stuff. So let's just grab any kick, anything really works. This is cool, sure. And we're gonna Apple, I think it's Apple Shift M. For a new MIDI track, we're going to throw a kick on a 4. And this is going to be like a house-inspired type thing. But this would work on anything. I just happen to have a lot of loops geared towards house music on my computer. So, all right, now you're going to go into sample packs, and you can do the Essential Deep House or whatever. This is cool. There's all these drum loops here. Whatever, any loops. I'm going to use the Vendus ones because they're kind of generic, and I'm going to show you how you can kind of make them your own. So 124 is cool. Cool, let's drag that in. And I'm just going to pick some random loops. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. And then try to find something with like a little bit of a different rhythm. We can use that too. Fuck it. Throw that in there too. One more. Man, you can see how I hate these. They're all kind of the same, but that's the point, right? Alright, so let's start with the top one. And we're going to do a couple different techniques, but we'll start with the top one. I'm going to show you how I chop them up. Alright, so that's the most generic fucking loop you could possibly come up with. You can see, though, there's that little ghost note there. So that's kind of like the magic part that's going to set it apart from kind of how maybe we would program drums, initially. We might not add that little tiny lower ghost note in there. So let's chop that, use Apple E, and then we're going to show fades, and we're going to fade it out. Actually, let's cut it, and then we'll fade this. And what I did is I held down Apple to kind of trim that out to get off the grid, and then that will leave us with this. Oops. Cool, that's exactly what we want, and we're going to do that over here as well. And we're going to chop that there, and we're going to zoom in a little closer. We're going to grab this, and this, you can do this pretty quick once you kind of get used to it. And then we're going to Apple. Ooh, maybe we should leave. Yeah, we want that too. Sorry. Just realized that I was making it incomplete. And we're going to grab that little guy there, and we're going to do this. And there's a couple different ways you can do this. This is how I do it. Doesn't mean you have to do it the exact same way. I'm going to fade that out, and I think that's good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this whole section, 4 notes, right-click, consolidate, boom, done. And now we're going to, that's our little loop. Let's listen to it against the kick drum. Cool, I like that. We should have kept the hi-hat in here, so I'm going to copy and paste the hi-hat, and we're going to do it right here. Let's take that, and let's take that. I don't know why I deleted it, that's stupid. And we're going to take just this part this time, so we don't fuck that note up. And we're going to fade it a little there. So let's try, see how that sounds. Now we're going to get that fade a little better. Cool. And again, I didn't plan this. I'm just kind of messing around. I knew I was going to use some drum loops out of Vengeance, but I picked random ones. So now we're going to right click. We're going to consolidate just for the easy use. Apple J is the keyboard there, of course, which I never used that for some reason. That's pretty cool. It's doable. You know, obviously the clap is missing, but we'd want to use our own clap because like when you're producing on your own, you know, the clap, you're going to pick a clap that you like and you're going to want to stick to that. You're not going to want to be married to the clap in these drum loops, but you might want some of the flair, the velocity, differentiation, some of the humanization that some of these loops provide. That might take you a long time to program yourself. Or not necessarily even a long time, but you just don't want to bother with it. So that's kind of what we're going for. So now we're going to do the same thing on the second loop. Let's listen to the loop. So that's cool. So let's just grab that little guy out of there and let's leave it at that. See how that's kind of got a cool swing to it? It's offbeat. That's what makes it work. And we're going to take that out. We already kind of have stuff covering that. And we're going to take all that out. And we'll grab this piece right here. Cool. And that should be good. Let's get some fades going. Just to make sure that we kind of get it right. Cool. Same here. And then we're going to Apple J. Done. And let's hear it. We don't know how it's going to sound until we hear it, right? Cool. It's getting there. See how that kind of made it our own? We kind of combined a couple of them. Now we got a cool little swing. And there's more percussion. These are kind of like typical hi-hat loops. I guess having some percussion loops in here might help. I forget what these sound like, but maybe we'll get something out of it. It sounds good. I like it. Ooh, there we go. We kind of have something in that spot. We could try it. Ooh, I like that. That's what we're going to grab. We're going to grab those shakers. And then we're going to try one final technique. Grab these out of here. I like that. Let's Apple J. And we're going to do this on every other loop, so it's not like the same, you know, every time. So let's do this. And let's hear it all together. Add that in. Turn that down a little bit. Cool. Let's turn it down even more. Sweet. All right, now we're going to do a different technique since you kind of got that one. We're going to open up a MIDI track. We're going to go to Instruments under here, and we're going to do Simpler. And we're going to switch to Slice, and we're going to slide this loop into the sampler. Let's see. You can use Sampler, I just don't have it. What that does is it assigns, it'll chop by the transient, which is perfect for drum loops by default, as you can see. Slice by transient. And then now every key, starting at C1, will play one of these clips. So now you can go through it. And you can grab that, that's a G right there, and we can program it our own way. And this is cool because you're also not time stretching it anymore, so you can stretch stuff out really far if you do this. And then we're going to program this in with some MIDI. I actually just like it simple, like that. And then that's it. You can do your own thing. It's just like a quick example. Yeah, it's too much. Just one's cool. I'm going to lower all this to be even. -6. And now you've just kind of combined some loops and made them your own, which is pretty cool. I hope you got something out of this. I think it's a little inspiring for a different style, different way to program drums and house music, and maybe a little bit of a way to take advantage of all those drum loops you've been sitting on that you're never really so keen on firing up because you feel lazy. Well, now it's kind of a way to maybe incorporate them a little bit in your production. And again, you can just do all your programming, your own way, and then you can just add like a little flare, like a couple of these little flares or something inside. It's cool, and now you can stack in like 4 or 5 drum loops at the same time, like we did, and not sound like a pile of just millions of hi-hats going on at once. So, some other stuff I would try when I'm finishing up before we call this to an end is I'm always EQing everything out that I don't need. So in this case, maybe there. And then for this stuff right here, maybe we'll pull up the EQ. Stuff like that. And then maybe sideshading some of them too will kind of have a cool feel. Just for a quick, I wouldn't do it this way necessarily. You can do it this way. But let's pop open. Oh, I don't have my iLock plugged in, so we can't use that sidechain. We'll just use this one. Sidechain kick. And we'll just do this just to give you a quick feel. And then, of course, I would add my own claps in and maybe my own, style, a couple of things, whatever. I would add my own stuff in. But this is just a quick way for you to use drum loops and hopefully find it inspiring instead of, just throwing one of these loops on and calling it a day. So I hope you enjoyed. If you got something out of this, please hit like and subscribe. I'm trying to do every other day. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but trying to build it up and try to put out a lot of information and content on here. So enjoy and follow me along for the ride. Thank you guys so much. See you soon.